All right, welcome back to WristFind. Today we're going to be doing something very different. We're going to be unboxing a watch that I bought from the TikTok shop. I saw this watch pop up on my feed and I was just so curious what kind of quality you would get for $15 from TikTok. So let's open this thing up and see if this is complete garbage and if I got scammed or if it's actually a decent watch for 15 bucks. All right, there we go. We got some kind of box in here. We're gonna pull this thing out. So the company name is Lige, not sure how to say it, L-I-G-E. And so far the packaging is actually not that bad. We got this pretty simple white outer sleeve and this nice shiny gold lettering here. We're gonna peel off these stickers and see if we can slide this box out. All right, there we go. Pretty nice actually. Yeah, honestly, not too bad from a packaging perspective. Right now I'm wearing my Casio A158 and I gotta be honest, the packaging for a standard Casio like this doesn't really hold a candle to this TikTok shop watch. Don't get me wrong, it's nothing crazy premium, but honestly, I'm kind of impressed with the packaging of this thing. We got the same shiny gold lettering of however you pronounce this brand name, and this sort of textured navy blue box. All right, so moment of truth, let's open this thing up. So right away, we're met with what looks like maybe an instruction manual or a card of some sort. There is a very cheap microfiber cloth in here, and it looks like some brief instructions on how to use the watch. And lastly, we have this shiny little brand tag that they included. Yeah, I gotta say, this is probably the worst microfiber cloth I think I've ever felt. It feels closer to sandpaper than something I would want to clean my watch with. But it's the thought that counts, I guess. All right, let's take this puppy out and see what we're working with. Nothing else in the box, just some foam to keep everything in place. All right, so there she is in all her TikTok glory. All right, very first thing I noticed is just that their logo stamped here in metal is very off-center and a little bit crooked. But hey, it's 15 bucks, we'll let that slide. The watch does not appear to be running, so I think I might be missing something. I think I have to pull this tab here, and I probably have to push the crown in. There she goes, she's ticking. All right, so far so good. It is working. The second hand is making its way around the dial, so it looks like we got some action here. So the band on this watch is this very shiny jet black fake leather. It's honestly not terrible. I think I have to break it in a little bit, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It honestly feels pretty comparable to most low-end fake leather bands, so nothing too surprising here. It did pass its quality check, so that's always good. And there we see the logo again, Lige Dream. I'm not sure what Dream is. I have a very hard time believing this company is from 1853, but it claims it is. It also claims to be all stainless steel, which I do find to be a little bit questionable, but again, we'll let it slide. And it says it's rated for 3 ATM of water resistance, which basically means that it's resistant to light splashes. But this is not something I would want to get near water. All right, let's get a quick dimension check while we're here. It looks like the case is about 43 millimeters in width and just over 51 millimeters lug to lug. The case also has a thickness of 12.3 millimeters, so it is a little bit thicker, but it's not too bad. All right, let's take a closer look at the dial and just see what we're working with here. So I did almost zero research when getting this thing, but I'm assuming this is a chronograph. So I'm gonna press this top button and just see what happens. So it is counting up like it's supposed to, and I'm guessing this other subdial here on the left is the minute counter, which I'm assuming is also going up at the same time. Up at the top by the 12 o'clock, we do have a third subdial, which appears to be a 24-hour clock, and also have a night and day function. So that's definitely something I want to check out. Before we get too far, I do want to put this thing on and just see how it looks on the wrist. All right, let's tighten this thing up. See if we can get it on. It is really hard. This band is really stiff. All right, there we go. So definitely got to break this thing in a little bit more, but there it is. So it definitely does sit pretty high up on the wrist. This would be really hard as a dress watch just given this case height, as this would really get in the way of a suit or dress shirt sleeve. But there it is with the crooked logo and all. Now, one thing that is really noticeable right away is the sound of this thing. It does have a really loud tick, and it just sounds like a really cheap, hollow movement. So let's check in on our chronograph function. This is still counting up, and it does look like the minutes are running. So if I press this top button again, this should pause it. There we go. So that paused the seconds and paused the minutes, and it should start back up again with a second press. And then this bottom button should reset this second subdial and that minute subdial when I press it. There we go. Not sure what's going on here. I pressed what I thought was the reset button. Oh, there we go. So not really sure what that was. When I pressed the chronograph reset button, that second subdial went around several times before fully resetting. Maybe that's a thing, but I've never seen that on a watch before. All right, let's try pulling out the crown and changing the time here. And this seems to be doing absolutely nothing. Let's see what happens if I pull it out one more time. All right, so that seems to be working. So you can see this affects the minute hand, the hour hand, also the 24-hour clock, as well as the sun and moon complication. So you can see as we bring this up, the sun is coming up, and then it sets, and then we should get the stars and the moon coming up. And there's no date function on this, so I guess there is only one position to pull this crown out to. Although it definitely feels like there's at least 2, maybe 3 positions that you can pull this crown out to. But it seems to be like that last position is the only one that actually affects anything. Yeah, this crown is definitely a little bit suspicious, and it feels like I could rip this thing out if I really wanted to. But hey, it works. Honestly, from a distance, it's a pretty good looking watch. There's a few different color variations. I chose to go with this white dial and black band. I just thought it looked the best. But they do have a couple other unique colorways. By the way, I hope this is clear, but this video is absolutely not sponsored. This company did not send this to me. I regretfully spent my own money on this. And I don't even know if I can link this thing down below if you did want to get it. But you could always check it out on the TikTok shop if you're interested. Again, the company is LIGE. And it's called the Men's 2024 Business Fashion Round Dial Analog Quartz Watch for Men. So I don't know, this is my first time buying kind of a cheap Chinese watch like this. So I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I think this is pretty much it. It is funny when you compare watches like this to some more classic, affordable options like the Casio F91W and the A158, where watches like this just have a little bit more history and a little bit more nostalgia to them, and tend to be built a little bit more durably and with better materials. So for roughly the same price, you can get pretty much any of these watches. And obviously these are not the same category of watches, where the TikTok watch is supposedly a dress watch, and these other 2 Casios are a little bit more casual everyday wears. But it is kind of funny to see what you get from different brands at roughly the same price. So listen, I'm not one to bash watches. I don't think there's any right or wrong way to collect watches or buy watches. So if you like this watch or watches like this, go for it and wear it proudly. But if things like quality or durability or history matter to you, then you can probably do better at roughly the same price point, give or take a few dollars. So if you're looking for a more affordable dress watch that still isn't going to break the bank, I'll leave some links down below to some of my favorites. So let me know down in the comments below, would you rock the Liege TikTok shop watch, or should I throw this thing in the trash? For now, I think I'll keep it around, maybe see if I can give it out to someone, but it's probably not going to get any wrist time from me. But I am curious what else the TikTok shop has to offer, so maybe I'll do some digging there, and let me know down in the comments if you want to see more videos like this. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, watch this video if you're interested in staying on the channel, and I'll see you next video.